There you go. So, so today's conversation is around the whole idea of customer experience. And if you worked in data, and I'll start with why this is an important topic for me. So, I'm Afrozy. I'm Senior Director of Analytics and Customer Experience at Incedo, and in my role, I help my clients improve their overall customer experience and build seamless customer experiences through understanding of the data and the insights that it brings in. And I have worked as a data scientist in the past, and when we think of the whole aspect of customer experience, it's a very new concept because traditionally the world has been working, in terms of every department does their own thing, right? You are a part of the marketing department, you are a part of the finance department, and you do, marketing analytics, you do finance analytics, you do product analytics. But then overall, what is it that the company is aiming for? Is improving the customer experience. And that's why this CX as a concept becomes important. And my talk is towards data science analytics professionals who uh, who want to understand the world of customer experience and how data is applicable in helping make a better customer experience. So that's my area of focus for this talk. And with this background, let's dive right in into the content. So first, some context, right? And let's start with humor. That's the best way to illustrate some very big, hairy issues. So if you have worked as a data scientist or as an analyst, then typically in the current world you would be working as a part of the marketing organization, as a part of finance organization, or the customer service organization. And that's what you see here, right? There are different organizations that have been created, and you as a data scientist or analyst, your job is to look at data and help identify the insights. But everything is towards generating value for a customer and creating business results through generating that value. So while we are working in different divisions, it's really about the customer. And that's why the whole notion of customer experiences, can we build a different lens or a new lens on how we look at the entire organization from a customer's perspective? How can we be more customer centric, which is not uh, the responsibility of just one department. It's That's why CX is not one department. CX is all of us, and how we think of CX and how we build out the whole CX function and how data contributes to it is what I'm going to cover in my talk. So from here, let's look at customer experience in itself. Let's start with the basics. What is customer experience? And it has a very grandiose, a very large charter. So what the way customer experience is getting defined is the perception that customers have of an organization, one that is formed based on interactions across all touch points, people, and technology over time. So it's a very big concept in the sense that now we are looking at it from an organization perspective. We are looking at how the customer experiences an organization. So it's not just about what you do, it's also about the customer's perception, what the customer feels. And this statement itself has implications about for various departments. It has implications for marketing, it has on how you build the brand for the customer, how you sell to the customer, for sales, how you reach out to the customer, what is your sales message, for the servicing and operations team on how you service the customer, and how you build loyalty and how you retain the customer. The finance and billing team, how does your customer pay? And and then how do I make sure that the customer has a good customer experience in this overall interaction with the brand? And look at the our own perception towards the the companies who do CX well. And here's where we come to the question, if this is such a huge grand vision, why should I care about it? Because CX matters. So if I were to ask you, let's look at, in your mind would be a world-class company. Most probably your idea of a world-class company would be a company that is a CX leader, the Amazon, the Apple, and the Teslas of the world. And data proves that CX leaders, and this was a study by Watermark Consulting, where they looked at the 11-year stock performance of CX leaders, the leaders and the laggards. And what we see is that CX leaders overperform 3x compared to that of CX laggards. So, based on what is the cumulative return on the S&P 500 index, you see that CX leaders do 30-40% better, and they are 3x in terms of the cumulative return for laggards. And that counts for something, right? That the stock market kind of recognizes the importance of customer experience and how we can build the whole brand, build the whole change the whole perception of the customer. And the problem has to the way we look at the problem now has to be very intentional, which is we cannot leave the whole experience to chance. You can do wonderful marketing and analytics and come back with insights, and your finance team would do great forecasting, but if that doesn't translate to a wonderful experience, then all that effort is not useful. So which is why customer experience matters, and the way we think about customer experience matters. And data has a very integral role to play in helping improve the customer experience. And over here, the next slide is, where I want to illustrate what is the role of data in improving the customer experience. So, as data analysts, data scientists, we have this very incredible thing in our hands. We have the data of the customers, and with through this data, we can understand, help the organization understand who are our customers, who are our key customers, how are the customers interacting with our brand, and how do we measure up? How are we doing? What can we do to improve? Are we good? Are we average? Are we below average? And what is it that we can do to improve? And what would be the impact of that? So, data will help us, identify what are the key aspects of our relationship with the customers, and data can help us identify what are the ways in which we can improve. And here is where you would see use cases that come in our day-to-day work as data scientists, data analysts. Is we look at who are our customers, where we do segmentation to identify who are our key customer segments. We do research, we run surveys, we look at voice of customer data to identify what are our customers' needs and wants. What do our customers need? And then from there, we build a view of who are the customers that we should focus on, who are our high value, high growth customers that we need to put a differentiated focus on. And that analysis helps us identify your outputs like your customer segments and personas, which become like the basis of us being able to personalize and provide the right experience to customers. So that's the first aspect of it. That's how data can help you. The second aspect of it is data helps us understand how customers are interacting with our brand, which means what are the key journeys that customers take with us. And here is where, when you think of a customer interaction as a journey, you realize how much of it is interconnected across all the departments. So if it's a purchase journey, it's your marketing department that brings in customers to the website through their marketing campaigns, and then your customer will be on the website and will complete the purchase journey, on the website, where you have these various different departments working to create the view on the website. You have a pricing team that gets the price out there. You have like accessories team that build out, the product team that actually builds out the products, the accessories, or all the other kind of various aspects of what a customer will do when the customer is building out the cart. So through the purchase journey, when you start thinking of the customer from a customer perspective, you realize that there's a journey that the customer goes through. Then what are the moments that matter across these journeys, and then what are the drop offs and feedback that customers are giving across these journeys. So that would help us identify, build customer journey maps, which is another key artifact of thinking from a customer experience perspective. And the third aspect of how data helps us is through your KPI measurement and benchmarking, which is, what are the key KPIs? How are we doing, ourselves right now compared to the past? How have we done in terms of the initiatives? And then what are the opportunities for improvement? So, benchmarking, comparing to your past, comparing to your peers, to your competition, direct and indirect competition, will help us identify how we measure up and what's the impact, what is the opportunity for us to scale. So, from here, I will deep dive and, talk about some of the aspects of how data can help improve your customer experience. So, building out customer segments and personas. This is an example for a B2B customer persona. So we do a lot of segmentation. I think the difference with persona is being able to get that emotional aspect, the psychographics of a customer, because customer eventually is a person, has some feelings, needs, wants. How do you make them feel through the journey? So that's a nuance that we don't deal with a lot as data scientists, and that's where design thinking comes in. So being able to look at the customer uh, persona through or segment through the lens of emotions is another aspect that really strengthens our the data analysis, and that's where the worlds of design and data merge. And also data helps us anticipate the customer needs. Research will help us identify, uh, predict what's the best, what are the customer intents and propensities. So those models would help us build, richer customer personas. But that's the concept, right? That data will help us identify who our customer is. And the key to success is understanding your customer at the deepest level. And that's what the customer insights function does, which is looking at the customer from all the, both the hard stuff, which is their attributes, and the soft stuff, which is the psychographics of it. So that's the first part. The second part is, how do you build your customer journeys? So this is an example of your end-to-end customer journey for a B2B purchase. So building out a view of the journeys, from a customer perspective, mapping the touch points, looking at what are the drop offs, and data helps us understand the how the real journeys are versus how I might have designed it. Like for example, I might have built a purchase journey with like these 5 steps, but what if in the third step things are not clear to the customer and the customer drops off, never comes back? Or in the first step there is a bug in the code which is sending the customer back to the second, in the third step, it's sending the customer back to the first step, and it's not letting the customer continue on the journey. So data is super valuable in helping us identify those gaps and build a more clear view of the journeys. And then the third part of it is what we do. And this would be a very familiar slide to you, right? Being able to look at how we are doing in terms of your overall experience metrics, which you collect through surveys, then PS, CSAT, OSAT, the customer effort score, the soft stuff that we collect from surveys, and the operational metrics, which are through your marketing, customer service, and your financial metrics. Some of the examples here, many of them would be descriptive, predictive metrics, depending on what stage you are. But then data helps us build a holistic view of the customer through what the customer is telling me through a CSAT score, how satisfied you are, or how hard it was to do the stuff through the effort score, and what the data is telling us in terms of the overall cost of uh, overall metrics in terms of the handle time and others, or versus what is your marketing metrics, how much does it cost to get a new customer. So these metrics will really help us measure where we are, and benchmarking it with my past and with the industry will help us identify where the opportunities are. And through the opportunities, you build a bit, it helps you build a meaningful business case, which will focus both on customer value and business value, right? So uh, and this is the part which where most data science teams don't get to. We build the insight and we give it away, but then helping take the insight, framing it into a business case, and helping the business take it up forward is a very critical step of CX, where you quantify the impact. You say, okay, for achieving business value X, we propose to do this work A, which will improve something for the customer, improve the customer experience or improve the purchase experience, will and provide this economic benefit C, which is a business benefit, like a profit of X million dollars at the cost of maybe a 300K, 400K investment, and this expected ROI. So that connects the loop from the data to the insight to the action, and what is the impact, the expected impact of that action. And those are the various moving parts of the CX world, which is you build the recommendations and then you build out what is the next step in terms of what you should do, how you should do it, and what was the expected impact. So I know, we tried to cover a lot. It was a 20-minute conversation. So, uh, what I wanted to cover was the kind of framework of, how data, helps the CX function, and similarly, how thinking about CX helps data scientists build a different lens, a holistic lens of the business. And if you have any questions, do reach me out at LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. And I think I'd love to respond to anything that any questions you have for me. So with that, we have run out of time. So I will, end I'll stop sharing here. I'll end the talk. Any questions from the audience? All right. If you do have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer. And wishing you all the best. Have fun in the conference. I know we have many other exciting talks coming up. Uh, and I'll have the data science connect team, conference team, take it from there, from here. All right, thank you, folks. Great turnout. It's wonderful to see so many people here, and I wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye bye.